Oh, fuck it. It's time for the worst trailer in the world this month. And really, when I say trailer, I mean the worst 3 trailers. Because we're not just going to break down one, we're talking about a whole series of teasers for what is sure to be one of the most inane movies of the year. Let's get to it.
Hello? Everybody here for the interview?
Okay, what the hell is Steve Carell even doing with his voice? It sounds like they took one of those VeggieTale freaks, put their veggie nuts in a vice, and then told it to speak in a vaguely Russian accent. Also, this scene is a straight ripoff of the testing scene from Men in Black, and when you're cribbing from that, you already know you're in trouble.
Great. Here we go.
A meat cleaver would not make that kind of a sound simply by being moved. It's not rubbing up against any metal. I know this series has lived on giving a giant middle finger to science in general, but come on, we've barely even started. If this is how lazy the jokes are gonna be, well, it might as well be me making this video. They're called the Vicious Six, yet there are clearly only 5 of them. Now I'll grant that maybe Gru is interviewing to be the 6th member, perhaps replacing some other villain who is no longer around. But then I'd ask, why are the 5 chairs aligned so symmetrically? Why not have an empty chair to illustrate the point? The answer, because we're more concerned with trying to make this endlessly silly series seem somehow intimidating for 2 seconds rather than have any logic. Also, Vicious Six is clearly a ripoff of the Sinister Six from the Spider-Man universe, and a lazy one at that. When you've got me actually defending Marvel in 2022, you know you done fucked up.
Distinguished villains, my name is Gru.
Yes, I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice!
I feel like I'm talking too loud even though our proximity doesn't require this kind of volume.
Yeah, drawing attention to it doesn't make it funny. That's my job, and I suck at it, so what chance do you have?
You seriously think a puny little child can be a villain?
You had a whole suburban family in a station wagon being villains last movie. Is this really a stretch?
Yes, I am pretty despicable. You don't want to cross me? He took the stone!
Absolutely criminal, not to mention cliche use of sabotage. It's even worse when you remember that this is a kids movie and the song has swearing in it. But of course we won't play that in a movie about an aspiring bad guy who wants to be the most evil person in the world, right? Can't go having the kiddies' minds warped by the word fuck, but destruction, mayhem, likely a slew of casual death, that's okay. So one of the 6 biggest villains on Earth is a Viking crossed with a roller derby racer. Really? Between him and the Foxy Brown ripoff, how am I supposed to take any of this seriously?
Otto, take the stone back to the lair. I'll distract them.
Did you catch that, kids? His name's Otto. Otto! He's very round and has braces. Make sure you keep this in mind when you're torturing your parents for the latest toy we're clearly drawing attention to. Let me guess. Her name's Nunchuck? You know what, screw it, let me look this up. So, pull my phone here, IMDb. Are you kidding me? Her name really is Nunchuck. And they dragged Lucy Lawless into voice her. What the hell is going on?
This kid just stole something from the worst villains in the world.
He means by character design, not like by anything actually villainous. I mean, for God's sake, one of them is just a guy with a lobster claw for a hand. And yes, his name is Jean-Claude, voiced by Van Damme. So how is a child not eligible? Clearly children are writing this. Underage boy ass. You know, for the kids. Now we're dragging the Rolling Stones into this. First of all, lame as fuck because we're talking about a stone that Gru stole, which is why we're using the bit. But second of all, You Can't Always Get What You Want is a song about noticing a murderer at her victim's own funeral. If this series ever had the kind of balls to get that despicable so that the song actually works, I would respect that. But you know we would never go that dark here. We've got too many fart jokes to get through. Come on. Bunch of bullshit.
Oh là là, le pelo bellissimo! La quiero Topissimo, no?
Otto looks at a pet rock the way Stuart looked at a yellow fire hydrant in the last movie, and I would like to be done existing now, please.
Did you just trade my future for a pet rock?
The fact that Gru doesn't immediately murder Otto is proof that he was never a villain, and this entire series is now rendered even more pointless.
Now, where's Gru?
Oh look, instead of a poop joke, we've got a fake boob falling out joke. Progress?
Good night.
Yes, good night.
Good night!
I'm convinced at this point that the jokes are written by the very 4-year-olds the movie is trying to entertain. This might honestly be the most clever bit in the entire series. Illumination Studios fully admits that they have nothing to offer but minions, and they will bludgeon you with a wrecking ball until you submit.
But I am going to be a super villain.
Movie literally farts all over one of the greatest films of all time, which in itself should be grounds for capital punishment. But also, I know he's just a kid right now, but Gru does know the difference between being a villain and just being a dick, right? Making a crowded theater smelly isn't villainy, it's just a dick move. Yelling fire in the crowded theater would be villainous. Or if you're gonna go for spectacle, lock everyone in, flood the room, and release an actual fucking shark! That is being a villain.
Make me king as we move toward a new world order.
Okay, forget everything I said about sabotaging the stones. This is the true sin against nature. You license Lose Yourself, an Oscar-winning, profanity-laden rap masterpiece for this. First off, it's clear that the only real villains here are the filmmakers. Second, what the hell, Marshall? How could you allow this to happen? I'm deeply and genuinely concerned for your well-being right now. Are you under duress? Smack 2 bitches if you're under duress. I'll send help.
Kyle thinks he can be a villain.
So, the evolution of Gru's villainy is that in the first movie he used a freeze ray to skip the line at Starbucks, which was somehow an upgrade from an easy cheese gun he used in 1975? How was he ever considered a threat? I'm seriously starting to side with the vicious 5 out of 6 here.
Alright, I'm not Minnie. Please stop calling me that.
1. You are Minnie, as you are a child. 2. Minnie is half of their fucking name, so of course these barely intelligible Cheeto turds would cling to that as a basic tenet of their language. 3. They still acknowledge you as boss. 4th, fuck you. Oh boy, Chinatown! I bet we won't see anything remotely racist here!
I am a master of Kung Fu.
There it is! Also, dear God in heaven, they dragged Michelle Yeoh into this. Have you no decency, Illumination?
Petit chanou kung fu pour smoochy smoochy?
Casual sexual harassment for kids!
Ah, Kevin.
Beating a minion repeatedly against a block of wood. If that's not a metaphor for the entire Despicable Me series at this point, I don't know what is. I don't know if this glorified doorknob with hepatitis jumping a ramp over a cliff is supposed to be a ripoff of a classic Simpsons episode or an homage. All I know is that I want whoever made this scene dead. Literally a hairy cock rammed in our faces.
Minions, assemble!
So here I go, it's my shot. Feet family not. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Did we really just repurpose Gru's casual call for a meeting from the first movie into a ripoff of the Avengers? And did it seriously just work to turn these three dildos in furry costumes into expert fighters? And did the movie just show its own fucking ending? Minions flying planes, only slightly less tragic than 9/11. More fart sounds just in case your brain cells were still functioning. These trailers prove that there is literally no piece of music on this earth that the Minions can't make annoying. Just hit buttons and comedy will ensue. I'm pretty sure that's Illumination's new corporate mission statement.
Peanut?
Oh, yes, please.
Peanut. Peanut.
Okay, fine. That was funny. Bob is literally the only minion that has ever been worth a damn, and this super literal gag is not only in character for him, it's actually clever relative to the target audience. You get 1 point, movie. Don't make me regret it.
Okay, vamos.
And 4 seconds later, we're back to sabotage. So yeah, instant regret. Several scenes of nothing but screams previews every parent's reaction after they take their kid to see this. Yep, the only thing missing from this deluge of originality was a vomit joke. The writers know the word gag was not meant to be used in this context when they got their notes, right?
Hey, minivan!
With these jumpsuits, we've now graduated from ripping off Steven Spielberg to stealing from Quentin Tarantino. And all I can think is how wonderful it would be if Uma Thurman took a Hattori Hanzo sword to all of these motherfuckers. You had to know eventually that the movie would literally go straight into the toilet. Using a minion to pacify a crying child is basically a visual command to every parent when they go to the toy store. Remember, his name is Otto!
No, haha.
You got that right. And there it is, the worst trailer in the world for this month, and really it's 3. Don't get me wrong. I really liked the original Despicable Me movie. I didn't just buy these goggles for nothing. But let's be honest. Just like with so many other franchises that came before it, hell, I just went through this with Jurassic World last month, the first movie was brilliant, and every subsequent sequel and spin-off has just piled on the same beats, the same jokes, the same characters over and over and over again, with complete ignorance of the phrase diminishing returns. There's formula, and then there's just outright repeating shit that you've been doing forever. This is just outright repeating shit. And we're at the point now, honest to God, we can just say it. Megamind was better. Because if nothing else, it learned to quit while it was ahead, and there was only one minion. Until next time, folks, keep it locked on the blog, actuallypaid.com for reviews and analysis and random thoughts, and I'll be back next month with another trailer to break down. Until next time, I'm Bill Hammond. I actually paid to see this. Now, who needs a fucking banana?